Welcome back to the channel. Great looking day out today, going out for a ride, but first, my wife and I did something, and we gotta show you. Anyways, let's check it out. So this is a 2016 Ultra Limited with the 103 high output twin cam motor in it. The color is Cosmic Blue Pearl. And I just wanted to go over some of the things we thought about when we ultimately decided to go with this exact bike. I actually made a few notes here, so I'm going to refer to those so I don't forget anything. First, let's get it out of the way. I prefer the Batwing fairing over the Shark Nose, so the Road Glide wasn't really an option for me. I did look at one because there was a nice one there, but ultimately I do prefer the Batwing over the Shark Nose, so that's why we went this route. And then I did a video on why the Ultra Limited over the Street Glide. The bottom line is it's cheaper to make this look like a Street Glide than it is to make a Street Glide look like an Ultra. So that's why the Ultra over the Street Glide. Now, how did we end up with this exact bike? First, what I did is I actually kind of researched the different years for it. Originally, I wanted a 14 or newer because of the infotainment center. 14 and newer actually has the touch screen. 19 newer has an updated one even from this one. Now, the reason I wanted one with the touch screen is because I know SoundStream, there's probably other ones, but the SoundStream one does a direct click and play or plug and play that you can just swap that out and put a new one in if we ever wanted to upgrade it. So I wanted that. However, as I was researching all this, and actually a bike I saw at the dealer that I actually bought this bike from, there was a 2008 that actually had a SoundStream on their bike, and it's a plug and play for the old cassette type ones. So once we saw that actually opened it up, so we would go back all the way to 2000 basically, up into a brand new one. The brand new ones I wouldn't have to worry about. From there, I actually went in and started looking at 2000 to 2024 Ultra Limiteds, and what they had to offer and different price points. Now, we actually went into one dealer because they had a bike that I really liked, and I thought it was fantastic looking. It was just a gorgeous looking bike. My wife even liked it. It was a 2008 CVO Ultra. I don't think it was an Ultra Limited at the time. It was Ultra something or other. Beautiful looking bike. We go into the dealer to actually have a look at it, start looking around for it. We can't really find it until we see one that kind of has the paint scheme that it had. And then we discovered that you better go in and actually look at the bikes before you buy them, because the colorway is not always how it seems. I'm going to see if I can find a picture of it and insert it here. When you look at this, it's a beautiful looking bike. It's like a 60s style Mustang type paint job on it. However, it's not red, it's orange. So yeah, that bike was already out just because it still was a nice bike. It came with a lot of extras on it because it was a CVO. It even had the push button locking for the tour pack, which most Harleys don't have that. I don't know if all CVOs even have that. But that bike was out. But talking to that guy, we actually started talking about the different years as well, and I told him the same thing as like, oh, it actually opened me up because of the sound system. And then what he had told me is in 2009 Harley came out with the new frame for the touring models, and it was a much better frame, and it's actually the same frame they're still using in the brand new 2024s. So that actually lessened our search from 2000 to newer. So we went from 2009 to brand new. Now the next thing that I actually looked at that I wanted is I wanted something that was older than 2017, and everyone's probably gonna guess why. I wanted to go with an older twin cam motor. I've had a lot of people comment on here. I've had people when I'm talking to them at bike shows. The twin cam is the best motor Harley's ever made. I'm not saying that. That's what these guys are saying. I'm not 100% sure. I don't know. Um, my Sport Glide had the M8, so I figured let's go with the older motor and go ahead and see if we can see if the twin cam is a better motor. Now, I'm not going to be the one to be able to tell if it is a better motor. It does vibrate a lot more than the M8. The sound is actually a lot better. Now, it might have to do with the exhaust that this one came on, but it's a lot louder, a lot more vibration. Even my wife notices how much more it vibrates when we come to a stop, which I think she likes. And then from there, wanting a twin cam, I actually wanted the 103 because it was the largest one outside of a CVO. The CVOs came with a 110. I wanted at least the 103, so I think that boosted our age, or our model years would be between 2010 to 2016. From there, we went looking. Now, when we saw this bike, this one was not, I wouldn't say it was out of our price range. It was well within our price range, obviously, but it was $2,000 more than the bike we actually went to go purchase, because we actually looked at the bikes. We saw this there, but it was $2,000 more, like I said, than the other one we wanted. Now, the other one we went in and we were 99% sure we were going to purchase. It was a 2015 Ultra Limited in a nice red color. It was a really sharp looking bike. It had just under 50,000 miles. Yes, miles. For whatever reason, the used dealers here get a lot of American bikes. This one here is a US bike as well, and they do something that I don't know if I'm going to take it off or leave it on, but they actually put a sticker. They put a sticker for the kilometers around, with the miles in between. You don't really notice it. It's kind of handy to have that there, but yeah, I don't know if I'll keep it or not. So in the end, why did we choose this blue one? It basically came down to two reasons. One, the mileage on this, like I said, it's a US bike. It had just under 18,000 miles, where the other one was just under 50,000. So it had less than half the mileage. 1 year newer, which really with Harley Davidson, there's not much difference there. And then two was when we looked around their shop, they had, I'm going to say 20 black ones. They had, I think there was probably 10 or 11 red, and they had two blue ones. They had this blue one, and it was a really nice one, but it was a 2007. Again, so it was out of our date range, but it was a really nice blue-white trim on it. It was actually really nice, and that's actually the one that had the sound streamer on it. It was quite a bit cheaper than this, but yeah, it came down to that. We love this color. Changes in the sun. I didn't want black. I know I didn't want black. I love black Harley Davidsons. I love when they're black, all blacked out. I think they look sharp, but everyone seems to do that, and I just wanted a little bit of color. So we had to go with the color one, and I went with one that was a color that was different than the majority that were out there. And even these guys there were saying, yeah, they came out with this color. It was a very good seller for them. Not this one, the red ones. So I wanted one that was a little bit more different than the mainstream, and the more I see this color, I absolutely love this color. So at the end of the day, I had to decide whether the mileage and the color was worth that extra $2,000, and ultimately it was to us. Now, we've had it for about a week so far. We've only put just over 100 miles on it. I've ridden it a few times without my wife, and my wife's been on the back a couple of times as well. And really, there's only two things. I'm not going to say I don't like about the bike. I'm going to say there's two annoyances about this bike so far. The first one, it's a stupid one. It's I don't know how to get on and off properly. Do I swing my leg over? Do I put it over here? I can do both, but sometimes I'm hitting this because I'm kicking it too high, too hard, and putting it this way, it just doesn't feel natural to me, and I feel like people are making fun of me. But that's a little thing. The second one is a little bit more of an issue, and it's only at nighttime. I don't know if it's because of the windscreen, but at night you can actually see the reflection right in the middle of where I'm looking. Maybe if someone's taller or shorter, it wouldn't bother them, but I have a little screen right here that is right directly where I'm looking. So again, it's more of an annoyance than anything. The other thing I was going to add on this, but it's actually growing on me, is Willie G threw up on this bike. We got the skull there, we got the derby cover, we got the heel shifter, which I don't know if I'm a fan of the heel shifter or not. Are you guys a fan of the heel shifter? I kind of find it gets in the way of me putting my foot back on there, and I find I just use the regular shifter. I don't know, but you guys let me know. So yeah, the Willie G on the shifter, on the highway pegs, rear passenger. So really the only ones it doesn't have is on the original floorboards on it. But to be honest with you, it's actually grown on me. I think if it didn't have all of them and it was just one or two, I think it would have bothered me more. But the fact that they're all there, I think it makes it okay. But anyways, what do you guys think of the new bike? I like it. I think it's a great option. Do you think I made the mistake? I should have went with the Street Glide? And it's not a geezer glide for two reasons. One, if I'm a geezer and I'm able to maneuver this bike around, I'm not talking about highway speeds, I'm like moving around, because it's a lot heavier than the Softail, I'll be doing good. And two, there's not even a glide in the name. Oh, and if you're wondering, we still have this beauty.